Is it working now? I think it might be. There we go. Yeah, I can see yours popped up now.
Look, my
Mine's getting a bit stubby.
yeah,
Waiting on a new shipping stage right now.
I have are we live?
Yeah,
Oh yes, we need to go to the comments.
I think it's working now.
Oops, why is my
Or
thingy?
Mercury
This
being
needs
weird
to come
again.
off.
Oh, there we go. It is working. Hi Donna. Hi Connie.
That's been on there for a long time. Good
We've been
morning,
having some
beautiful
technical
people.
difficulties. Hi Jordan. Hi Kathy. Hi Michelle. Hi Mimi. Hi Anna.
Good
Hi
morning,
Leanne.
beautiful people. So I'm gonna do two, Laura. You know what? With all that's been going on, I'm gonna do two cleanses. I'm gonna do one with my I'm gonna do one with this, with the sweet grass. Or this is cedar. I'm gonna do one with the cedar, and then I do
Right.
one with the hamster hand. So Laura was saying, man, the Mercury has been retrograding so hard. Last week, Monday, I woke up last week Monday morning and I was doing my morning email. So when I wrote the entire thing, the platform crashed. And I had to just get up and go walk. I walked like 2 miles. I got up, I hit the road, and I walked like 2 miles. Because if I didn't walk, I know it would have crashed out on my computer.
It's important to get out there and get those walks right now.
And you know what? Walking, I discovered so much. So, I'm in a new area. So where I'm at, it's the first I've ever really got out and walked. And Laura, oh my Lord, my area is so beautiful. I found Jamaican restaurants. I found barbershop. I found nail shop. Everything. I found the bank. Laura, everything is within a
Loy is
mile
right
of
where she's
me.
meant to be.
Yup, yup. Good morning, beautiful people. It's been a
Good
while since
morning,
I've been
everybody. I'm
here.
still cracking up over what Daniel Jackson said. Yeah, I am. I'm getting down to the end here.
What's that? A roach? Sometimes when you save them little roaches, they're like,
if it was a
"Did you
roach, I
hit
wouldn't.
it?"
This would have been thrown out by now.
What I do sometimes with that though, Laura, like with roaches and so, like I'll save them, and eventually, like at one point, I'll just break open all of them and make a.
Oh my
I
god,
just have
my lungs would take a month to recover from that.
as I see your cup, I put my Laura. I'll be right back. I gotta go retrieve my tea. I didn't remember.
Okay, go get your tea.
Yeah, I saw your cup and I remember I pulled my one out just this morning too to make my tea too. So I'll be right back, guys.
Do your
I'll be
thing.
right back.
Jeez. How are you guys doing today? Everybody good? It's been an interesting time the last few days, energetically. I feel like, well, Zach put it into perspective last night. He says, "Do you feel like you're in a washing machine?" Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm kind of in a washing machine. Everything is kind of helter skelter right now. You can feel it energetically. So I'm just, I'm actually going to do a fast for a few days and just go from there and see if that helps. So I'm drinking herbal tea that I made, just herbal tea for a few days to see if I can kind of like flush out all of the funk that I'm feeling the last few days. It does help. What's up? What's what? You hit the button, right? On the right side.
I did, but I didn't have one.
Then you pull it out, unplug it from the wall. Aiden better not be burning toast right now. I think he is. I think he is burning toast. See what I mean about this morning? Weird energies right now. Janet says, I keep having dreams of being in a bathtub in space. Interesting. Maybe that's a pod. It just feels like a bathtub. You all good, little dude? He has a handle, I'm sure. You good? Want to show everybody your toast? He's trying to be independent and do things on his own. I tried to tell you you can unplug it. It's still good. Can you shut my door, please? Loy is coming. She's getting her tea. It's one of those mornings. Teresa's been having trouble sleeping. I feel you on that. Jessica says that's extra flavor.
The other side is even worse.
He said the other side is even worse.
I am back.
Go ahead, show Loy. Aiden was making toast, Loy.
You know what, Aiden, I like it. It's 2 colors.
Yeah, be careful, okay? Please. Unplug it if it's taking too long.
All right, give me just a minute, Laura. Give me just a minute there. I'm gonna pop off camera for 1 minute. How do I do this? Give me a minute.
One of those mornings, I swear. I need a new smoke alarm. That's a good point, Michelle. Kat says yes, it's a fly by the seat of your pants kind of morning. No kidding. Maybe I should light some more sage. Actually, my sage is still burning. It's funny.
Alrighty, I am back. So Laura, see, we be twinning.
Okay, there we go. Very nice.
Yeah, I was making my tea, and then when I put the tea on and I came to turn the computer on, I'm like, why's my computer at 1%? And I'm starting to look, there's no light in the what do you call it? My surge protector is gone. Like, so I had to just quickly order another one because I can't afford for my $1,000 to burn up. I think of Loy every day when I see the Rasta monkey. Oh yes. So hold on. Have you seen the dog? Have you seen Bruno? Daniel, if you think the Rasta monkeys are fun, you want to go see Bruno, the dog. So they have a dog. They have goats. They do a lot of them. They have dogs. They have goats. I saw a cat. My people are, listen, man. My people are crazy. I would say, put it this way, if I was born not a Jamaican, I think I'll be mad at God. I'll be like, what the hell you doing? Like, you never create me Jamaican, you didn't make me Jamaican. No, that can't work. That can't work. Hi, Chantal. And I will say, a lot of times I wish that I could do readings in patois because you guys think I'm funny. You won't hear me in patois. In English, I think in patois in my mind. And then in my mind, while I'm thinking, even though I'm talking, everything I'm thinking is in patois, straight patois. But I put it out in English for it to come out. So you are one of course I am, Chantal. Of course I am. So let us start with some. Did you say
proud of your heritage? No matter where it is.
Of course. And I'll tell you what, Laura, something a lot of people don't know. So let's talk a little bit about Jamaican heritage because last week was our emancipation and our independence. So emancipation, Jamaica makes slavery free worldwide, straight up. Jamaica, so what I just said is Jamaica is the reason in the British Empire in 1834 that all the slaves worldwide were freed. So what happened is that a quick history of Jamaica. So the slaves in Jamaica, they came from the warrior tribes in Africa. So they were the Akan or the Coromantee, the Igbo, and some other warrior tribes from like Nigeria, Ghana, and some areas in the area. No. The Portuguese and the Spanish didn't want those slaves because, like I say, they were warrior slaves. They were the type of slaves who, they didn't want to contend with them. But Britain was like, oh, we'll take them because they look big and strong. They look like they can work. So basically, all the warrior tribes came to Jamaica. On top of that, Jamaica was the prison state of the Caribbean. So if you were on another British territory and you acted up, they sent you to Jamaica. So guess what happened when they sent all those people to Jamaica? Basically, the the slaves, some of the slaves that came over from Africa and the other ones, they formed together and they revolted 300 plus times. Like if you check history, Jamaica is the only country worldwide that had 300 plus slave revolts. And they said we were intelligent, unintelligent. They said we were savages and all of this. We created patois using like 7 languages, because patois is Portuguese, it's English, it's African, it's Spanish. It's a little bit of all the people who were there. And we created that language to outsmart the oppressors. And in 1831, we burned the island from end to end. We burned it so bad that Britain had to free slaves worldwide. It was so horrible what Jamaica did to them, that for the entire world they proclaimed emancipation. And so 1834, because of Jamaica, every slave in the British Empire got freed. Every single
Sorry
slave.
that you had to burn your own country in order to achieve that freedom, but wow, that's beautiful that they
But because our ancestors, like I say, they came from, as I said, the warrior tribes. And one of them, we have a national heroine. Her name is Nanny. And Nanny, she and her brother Kojo, they come over as slaves, and they came over and they looked at her and they were like, fuck that. Nope. And crazy thing, even before the emancipation, the Maroons, so the Maroons, which are the runaway slaves which went up into the hills of Jamaica, the Maroons, Britain sent an entire, battalion to fight them. And the Maroons, they fought them in the hills of Jamaica and they defeated them. They defeated them so bad. Jamaica has a country within a country a lot of people don't know. The Maroons are a country within themselves. Britain had to give them a piece of land and be like, listen, stay over there and don't come over here. Like, leave us alone. And that led to, that's where jerk chicken comes from. A lot of people don't know that. It's not even jerk chicken, it's juke chicken. Because my ancestors, what they had to do is fighting in the hills. So they're in the hills. The British would always see the cooking fires and know where to find them. So they had to outsmart the British. So in order to outsmart the British, they developed a way that it's used for burning coals these days, and it's used for jerk chicken. So what they did is they dug a pit in the ground. And they dug a pit and they made coals, and they made the coals. And making coal is, I can do that, is easy. You dig a pit, you get the green wood, you put it in there, you put grass on it, dry grass on it, and you put dirt on it, and then you leave a little smoke hole and you light it and it stays there, and it makes the charcoal that you buy in the supermarket. So they would do that. Then they would get the meat, use pointy sticks and poke a lot of holes in it, and then the herbs, and so that they would rub the herbs in it and then put the meat on that coal to cook, so that the oppressors, the British army, couldn't find them. Nanny is also a spiritualist, because it is said that she would use her skirt to stop the bullets. I don't know how she did that, but she was some African. Yeah, they said that she would literally turn around and spread her skirt on the Britishers. But they used guerrilla warfare. So the first time Britain really suffered a defeat, like Jamaica has always been a thorn in their sides. Always, always, always. And even when it came to independence in 1962, our national anthem changed, our flag and the anthem changed 2 weeks before, because the anthem was being written by a British man. And then some people in Jamaica would look and be like, hell no, no, we don't want that. And then, funny enough too, Jamaica's flag is the only flag that doesn't have colonial colors. We are the only flag it doesn't have red, it doesn't have blue, and it doesn't have white. The only flag worldwide.
I appreciate the history lesson, because I didn't know any of that.
And so, Laura, also with Jamaica, there are 2 types of slaves that went to Jamaica. So there were ones who committed mass suicide. So there were some of the people, I think those ones came from a part of Nigeria, where they got there and they look around and they were like, nope, and just jumped off a cliff. They held hands, because they decided that, I'd rather be dead before I be a slave. And then there were the ones who like literally fought for freedom. They like put their lives on the line. And crazy, Laura, whenever you're doing, your free clearance, something I want you to look into, there's a place in Montego Bay called the Belvedere Estate, and that is where they hung the 200 slaves. The guango tree is still there. They hung the 200 of the slaves who participated in the rebellion. That's where they hung them. And when I was about 30, lovers leave. Yes, Chantal, lovers leave. See, I love that you people know my history. So the place in Florida is called Lover's Leap, where they jump off. And I was born close to there.
Wow.
So
So
that was,
the history
go ahead.
is very sad but very proud at the same time.
Yes, it
Everything
is.
they've accomplished.
Everything.
Sounds like a lot of colonies, if you know what I mean. A lot of them by the British. It was part of their systematic control worldwide. They wanted to dominate the planet, and they pretty much did for a couple hundred years till they took on more than they could chew.
And you know what's wild, what's crazy? Before when I got up this morning, I went on Facebook. This is something that's why. So there is I can't remember the name of the university in the UK that they had an enslaved woman's skull that the elites were drinking out of the skull. They even decorated it, put all kind of stuff of enslaved woman from the Caribbean skull. And it was 2015, the new set of students started asking, why are we doing this? Why are we drinking out of this? And it was an enslaved woman's skull they were drinking from. Isn't that crazy? Oh my, let me show you my hamster hand. Why not? I found a use of my hamster hand.
Love that.
I love how passionately nerdy. Oh yes, I'm gonna tell you, I love being a nerd. When I was going to high school, I was a student who people call a nerd. People used to call me, funny enough, I used to be called a big eye nerd because they used to tease me. I got teased about this relentlessly through high school. And yeah, the nerdy part, because to me, as Marcus Garvey says, a people without a history, if you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going. You have to know your history. And you see, when you don't know your history, history will repeat itself. If you don't know your history, you don't know what goes on, it will repeat itself. So for me, that's why I love history. That's why I study history. And history
it normally repeats itself. We're in like cycles all the time. You can notice if you study your history, you see things repeating constantly.
That's why for me these days, when I see things going on the earth and I see people getting all, not that I'm not concerned, I'm detached. And when I say I'm detached, I don't mean that I don't care. I care, but when you study history and you see certain things, it makes you understand that this isn't something new. Again, I'm not a Bible person, but Solomon said there is nothing new under the sun. Anything that's happening now, it has happened already. But I think what we need to do is, learn, look at history and learn. But a lot of us don't look at history and learn. We look at history and be like, oh my God, those were horrible people. And you don't look and realize the same horrible people are here doing the same things.
And they get away with it. Most of the biggest atrocities that have ever occurred were legal as well. They were all, commissioned from those in authority versus, it's sad what we allow to continue.
It is, Laura. Turn my AC on. It's getting hot in here. Man, I didn't study in history. This is funny. So I'm going to switch.
Some rainbows over here.
Hold on. Oh, let's do our smudging mantra before we get started.
Yes, let's do it.
Then I'm talking about history, I'm going to talk about something else. With the smoke, I cleanse this place. I banish negativity, every single trace. Let the light of the divine fill the sacred space. Only love, joy, and peace shall it embrace. With the smoke, I cleanse this place. I banish negativity, every single trace. Let the light of the divine fill the sacred space. Only love, joy, and peace shall it embrace. With the smoke, I cleanse this place. I banish negativity, every single trace. Let the light of the divine fill the sacred space. Only love, joy, and peace shall it embrace. Did she just... Erin, I like that. So, talking about history. The other day I was sitting down and I was having this thought, like I'm having my 420 thoughts. And I was saying to myself, man, religion is wild. So if you look at it, in the Bible, I'm not a Bible person, but just use it. In the Bible, in Genesis 1 verse 28, God told the people, be fruitful and multiply, right? Tell me how you be fruitful and multiply. As a human, there's only one way you can be fruitful and multiply. But then the Catholic Church started telling the priest, thou shalt not have sex. So I'm like, how is it that, and then how is it that they're preaching? They're not even preaching the Bible. And then I wonder, people don't look at that. Like, people are so brainwashed. They're telling you X, Y, Z, what not to do. And then they're doing it. It's like,
I was going to say, do as I say, not as I do has been a constant theme.
and then when I study history, and because I wanted to find out, I have a friend that likes to tell me, Loy, follow the money. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. And so when I studied history, I realized that the Catholic Church did not bring that in where the priests couldn't marry or anything until in about the 11th century, and it was for a reason. So when you're married, you have a family, your lands, your money gets passed down to your kids and your family. The Catholic Church didn't want that. They wanted to keep all the money consolidated in the church. So how you keep the money consolidated in the church? You forbid the people in power to marry, because when they marry, no, they can't pass on. First of all, you forbid them to marry, so no kids. So they don't have any descendants, anybody to pass on anything to. So when anything they get, basically, from their parishioners or whatever, it all stays within the church's coffers. And I'm like, dear God, these people are diabolical.
They've got the best scheme in the world if you think of it. Nobody's allowed to question them. They are allowed to make up their own rules. They don't have to pay taxes. They can do whatever they want. Really,
it's again, it's the money, Laura. It's the money. It all leads back to the money. And I'm like, man, but I wonder though, just as I read the Bible, my grandfather was a pastor, guys, so I know the Bible from back to front. So you see, when Christians they try to come at me, I just look at them and like, you don't want to climb this tree. This is one tree. You do not don't attempt to climb this tree. Go find another tree to climb, not this one. And it's crazy, like, how on earth people read and they don't see that. The one part, Laura, that gets me too is in the beginning it says, God created Adam and Eve. There was only Adam and Eve. Then Adam and Eve, had two sons, Cain and Abel. 4 people in the garden. Cain killed Abel, and he got turned out of the garden, and he went and he found wives of the land. But you just told me that there were only 4 people here. So did he go find monkey wife, lion wife, chimp? Like what? He didn't even find one wife. He found wives. There were so much. But 2 chapters before, you just told me that there are only 4 people here. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where did all these wives come from? Where were they hiding? Did they drop out of space? Or maybe the Lyrians brought them. They just saw that Cain was lonely and just drop a few wives down here, like, whew. And I wonder these things, how, Laura, how do people not think about these things?
I think most people are only taught what they are told in school. And if it's not taught as part of the public education system, in most cases, they don't even know.
The other one that's fascinating and funny to me when they talk about crystals. Oh, crystals. Oh, Laura, they're asking if you're okay. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Am I talking too much?
No, you're good. You're good.
So
I'm going through some stuff right now, and I'm dealing with some frustrations in regards to that, but I'm okay.
I understand. And
it's been a very rough Mercury retrograde. We'll put it that way.
Laura, I feel you with that one. The amount of problems my devices have been giving me since Mercury retrograde is no joke. It's like communication issues, and then also issues with people too. Like, oh my Lord, what's going on with people? People.
I don't know, but I've been like getting off this planet right now because I'm so frustrated with people.
I have been saying,
like, it's the longer you've known people, the more complicated things can get. You know what I mean? And it's the oldest relationships that I have in my life right now that are the most challenging right now. So it's like, I feel that a lot of stuff is coming to the surface to be healed, but because of that, there's a lot of triggers right now.
And it's coming to the surface. You know why it's coming up, Laura? Because you're at the point where, remember, this is a 9-year. 9s is the ending of cycles, and we're past half of the year. Last year was an 8 year, so last year showed us all the karmic stuff. So last year, when life showed us the karmic stuff, if you didn't take action, life takes action for you this year. So this year, because soul contracts are closing out, and a lot of us are starting. All right, so something that I've realized is that there's a 15 to 17 year cycle going on for a lot of people, and it's closing out this year. And why it's closing out is because a lot of people's soul contract with those people, it's over. And you see, when a person's soul contract is over, this is just like marriage. When a soul contract is over, there's nothing you can do to keep it together, because guess what? You need to go your separate way. The other person need to go so that they can meet the people they need to meet to learn the lessons they need to learn for the next part of their lives. And this is why, for me, the institution of marriage, I have nothing against marriage, but I have something against the way the church set it up. Until death do us part. And especially the Catholic Church, who tries to tell people don't get divorces, because marriages are contracts. And if before you came here, you made a soul contract that, you know what, Laura and Loy are going to be married for 10 years, and Laura and Loy have the best relationship, like everybody say we are twin flames, but you see, when year 10 come, it's like the devil drop in the midst of it. And no matter what happened, it doesn't mean that Loy hate Laura or Laura hate Loy. It doesn't mean that either of us are bad people. It just means that our soul contract, for whatever lessons we had to learn, has come to an end. So all we need to do is be like, I love you. I honor you. Thank you for the lessons we both, because it's symbiotic. Thank you for the lessons we both gave to each other during this point in time. But it's no time for us to move on and meet the new people who are a part of the new soul contract. And remember, Laura, elevation requires separation. The level you're going to, you cannot, I know it's hard. The level you're going to, you cannot bring all energy to new places. It's not gonna be. Another analogy I look to use is life is like a university. So you start out year one, you're in year one, 500 of you are there, and you have 5 years in university to learn your lessons. And when you finally, when you get to year 5 and you are graduating and you're having the hat and you get in, tops valedictorian, and you look around and 10 of your classmates still don't pass year 2, are you gonna go back and start over university and stay there with them? Or are you gonna move on now to, your people where you and them are talking, and it's on the same frequency? If you go back to that year 2 person, when you're talking about, it's gonna be like this. Because the language you're using, they don't even understand that language because they didn't learn to that level. So now you have to move on to people who, when you talk. So that's where you're at, hon.
Mic drop. You nailed it 100%. As you always do.
That's what I see. That's why I see things like. And there was a time I was saying,
"Oh, great segue into your online deck, though." I'm just saying we could spin a couple.
All right, let me.
If you're up for it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up. Let me find it. How do I share on here, Laura? I'm not used to StreamYard. Hold on. Plus, I see a plus sign.
Or invite.
Share screen. Sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. All right, hold on. So, good thing I have 2 monitors. Share screen. Please don't share. Let me see what is it gonna share. What's it doing? All right. Akashic readings in a box. Where did I go?
Nope, there you
go. All righty. So, what deck do you want me to use? We can use our let's choose between Akashic Alchemy, Soul Contract, or Starseed Lineage. Let's do Soul Contract.
One is really sticking out to me right now, and I really like that one. That's the one I still use the most.
Hold on. And Laura, so did you see the upgrade to this? I told you, I don't know if you realize, but let me show you something real quick before we go there. So let me see what card I got today. So Laura, do you know that this has automatic daily readings? I added this after I sent it to you.
I did not see that.
So this one, look. So my day, so every day, so basically with this one, every night, every morning at 12 a.m., it pulls a new card. So I uploaded all the cards. When I was doing the coding, I had to sit down and put every meaning for all the cards in the back end. And so I coded it using JavaScript, HTML, and all of that, where every day it pulls a new card for you. So you don't have to pull the card yourself. So every morning when you come in here, you get a new card. And then when you get the new card, Come on. When you get the new card, you can come log it to whatever card you get. So let me log for two. You can log it there. So that's a new feature. After I had showed it to you, this is a new feature I had.
Very cool.
Come
Look at
on.
you
See,
go.
my computer is. Oh, and also what I want to do too, I'm still working and I'm still improving it. I want to improve it to where I still need to have some more documents uploaded in the back end of this, but I want to do it to where, say you get this, once it pulls you the card, it gives you like a meditation or something that you can do, or an affirmation or something that you can do based on your card. So it's going to pull it based on the information I put in the back end. You feel like I'm in a class? Honey, you know what? Being a teacher is in my family because my uncle was a teacher, my aunt is still a teacher, but I've never ever wanted to be a teacher. And every job I've ever been in, I've always, even being in Jamaica. So I used to do business analytics. I used to be the person who I go to work and my phone is off the hook. Like I always have my phone off the hook, and I don't even like to talk to people. I tell them, send me emails. And for some reason, every job I get into, I ended up in a teaching role. So maybe it was preparing me for this. And also, I'm a manifesting generator. That means that I quantum leap. So I create systems and things to help people to get things done easier. And what inspired this, I have 80, probably 85 decks now, physical. And I thought of it like, man, why not make something where people can be, we are on our devices so much. Why not create something that it doesn't matter where you are. You can get a reading, you can get a card instead of logging around physical deck. So that was that.
I like this one line that I see here, but your light isn't here to convince, it's here to liberate. Yeah.
Where's see? Something out of that for you. Mm-hmm. So I'm a 5-1 manifesting generator. And I'm also a karmic mirror. So people run up into me and don't understand why, and then they start attacking me and don't realize you're attacking your own shadow. Go work on yourself. It's not me, it's you. So we are gonna do readings. Laura, my computer's slowing down. I don't know why. And my computer shouldn't be slowing down. This is a MacBook. What is it doing?
You gotta clear your stuff. Make sure you clear your cache and your cookies. My guides are constantly telling me that. They're like, if you gotta clean out the apps you're not using, you gotta clear out old conversations you've finished. You gotta clear out all the old stuff from your tech, all of it.
So I'll use this one. Alrighty, so let's spin and let's see what Laura first. What messages here for Laura today? What messages do the guides want to give Laura? Akashic Masters and Guides. Africa, your soul carries ancient wisdom.
I'm so homesick for Africa right now. I say homesick because South Africa feels like home to me. I miss it very much.
And see, so your soul carries ancient wisdom rooted in the primal memory and multidimensional magic of Africa's earliest. You see, Laura, you've been here a long time. So, Laura, every time I think of you, every time I think of you, what I think of Adam's calendar. Like some reason, I associate you and your energy.
I had a past life there, no doubt, no doubt.
And I always think of you too. When I think of you, I think of, and this is gonna be weird, Laura. I think of the gold mines under South Africa too, for some reason.
Oh yeah, I know all about that.
So this card signals a sacred agreement tied to earth-based healing, elemental connection, and or ancestral remembrance from a time before colonization and division. How funny that we got on here, Laura, and for some reason I just started to talk about colonization.
I mean, it's a pretty big subject, though, to be fair. Pretty much got their claws in every country.
You may feel drawn to nature. Of course, we know. Rhythm or oral traditions that carry deep codes of soul truth. Reclaim the knowledge passed through your bones. It was never lost, only waiting for you to listen.
Oh, I like that.
And we can get the, hold on. So this is Africa. Let's get the, geez, man. Let's get the bigger meaning. So, root of human origin, ancestral memory, and earth-based spiritual wisdom. Collective remembrance. And look at you, Laura. You are here helping the collective to remember. That's what you do with it here. When you know what? That's how I met you, and Laura. This month is 2 years since we met.
Aww. It's gonna get me all emotional.
Yes, I was realizing it last night. Something came up and I was like, oh my Lord, it's 2 years since I knew Laura. So the card meaning: to carry a soul contract with Africa is to hold a sacred tether to the origins of humanity and the heartbeat of Earth herself. Whether or not you have ancestral roots on the continent, your soul may hold deep cellular memories of lifetimes lived in African lands, serving as an earth keeper, a medicine person, wisdom carrier, or tribal leader. Africa is not just a location, it's a frequency. It is where the veils are thin, where spirits walk beside the living, and the earth speaks in rhythm, drumbeat, and fire. This card comes when your soul is calling you back to the original codes of harmony with the land, sacred ritual, and collective belonging. Many who carry this contract also carry the trauma of colonization, slavery, or disconnection from their indigenous ways. You may be healing the loss of language, land, or lineage. You may feel a deep ache to return home, even if you don't know where home is. Or you okay, honey?
Yeah.
Even if you don't know where home is, or perhaps you felt ashamed of your roots, disconnected from your body, or unsure where you truly belong. This is a call to remember: the wisdom of Africa lives in your blood, your bones, your breath. It lives in dance, song, prayer, and the stories whispered by your ancestors at night. You are being asked to reconnect with earth-based practices that feel alive to your soul, whether through drumming, herbal healing, ancestral veneration, or simply listen to the land beneath your feet. This is not an imitation, it's about resonance. The earth remembers you, and through her, your soul can remember her itself. Sacred message: you are the drum, you are the fire, you are the prayer your ancestors whispered into the soil. Laura, you are the answer to all of your ancestors' prayer. If you know how many ancestors prayed for one person to rise up in a lineage and be the awakened one, and that is you. So it is time to return to the root, reclaim the rhythm. The earth remembers who you are, even when you've forgotten. Let the land speak through you. You are not lost, you are being called home. So journal prompts are: what the hell, where did you go? Hold on. What earth-based or ancestral practices feel alive in my body, even if I've never formally learned them? Where in my life am I being called to reconnect with the land? You said you've been feeling called to go home to Africa. The land, my body, or my ancestral roots. So that's for you, Laura. That's for you
I
this morning.
spent 7 years there and I didn't want to leave. I actually was dragged back to America kicking and screaming because I had no other option. And I do miss it very much. That's why I go visit every year. I've been to 13 African countries and they all feel like home to me. Funnily enough.
It's for a reason.
I love the people so much too. So yeah, it gets me all choked up.
I love you and I'm sensing. I'm hugging you.
Love you too. Thank you. Legit, Loy.
Thank you. Ray, I don't know if you don't notice. You don't see I have ADHD too. Why you think I'm over here hyperactive and moving and always doing something like? And I tell you something, Ray, when I was going to school, this was the bane of my existence growing up. So I would get beat, like literal beat, to sit still. Going to church, wherever, and they would say to me that I know what I'm doing because I'm so intelligent, because in school, and I didn't even realize, Laura, that it was my ability. So when I was going to school, like primary school and so, the teacher is writing on the board, and I could tell what the teacher is writing before she finished. And so by the time teacher is finished writing, guess who's done her work and starting to mess with the students? And that's why I got advanced, Laura, and I started disrupt classes. I'm in grade 2. And so what they started to do, when I went to high school at 10 years old in Jamaica in grade 4, I should have been, when I was in grade 4, I should have been in grade 3 because they skipped me. So that's what they started to do, because they started to give me, when I'm in grade 2, they started giving me grade 3 work. And then something that helped with that, my aunt is a teacher, my aunt who raised me, and she would, end of year in Jamaica, the end of year, you get the book list. And so she would get the book list. By the time I go to school September, I know everything in the books. And then I would fidget, I would do things, I would be in class and so they would say that they labeled me as a troubled child. all my school life, all my years growing up, they said that I was hyperactive and I'm troubled. Coming to America is what made me realize that I have ADHD. Getting an ADHD, and when I did the first test, the lady was like, "Oh my Lord, like you are."
Was it, what do they call it? Attention dialed into a higher dimension?
Yes, my
ADHD?
attention is dialed into higher dimension. I have no deficit. I have no. And when I was, for me to, you see, if something doesn't excite my soul, I zone out. I don't like boring stuff. If it's boring, I zone out. And so for me, I learn by visual stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Can we pull one for somebody else so we make somebody else cry?
Sure. So Laura, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it how you do it. You choose who I need to pull for.
All right.
And also, guys, I have a quiz too, but I'll show you guys about the quiz after. I'll do that as the last part. And Laura, I want to do some sound
Can we
healing.
put up numbers like we normally do, so that way if everybody's kind of getting the same number, you get the right message for you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do up to 5. So we'll do 1 through 5.
Alrighty, so for the people.
So a number 1 through 5 pops into your head. We'll do 5 more readings. So if you see a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5 pop into your head right now, that'll be the number for you.
So the people for 1 to 5, the isolation agreement.
This will be number 1 first. If you had number 1 in your head, we'll do this one.
So for number 1, for the number 1 people, you got the isolation agreement. Now, this card speaks to a soul contract of emotional or spiritual separation. Perhaps you chose solitude in a past life as a monk, an exile, or a wounded wanderer. Or maybe you experienced disconnection early in this one. Either way, the isolation became identity. Now you're being called to come out of hiding. Community, love, and resonance await you. You're not here to do this alone. Let others find the real you. So let's go read deeper into the isolation agreement. Or is that where you are? So this one is a soul contract formed to protect through separation. Now, I'm going to touch, before I go further with this, I'm going to explain a little bit about these soul contracts and stuff like this. Now, do you know that making vows actually creates contracts, and people should be very, very careful of when you're making vows, especially when you are in a when your energy is upset, or when your emotions are heightened. I don't do Bible stuff much, but even Solomon says that be careful about making a vow, because vows, if you don't revoke them. So isolation agreement, these can be from, say you were in a relationship and you got hurt. And you got hurt so bad, you decide, you know what, I will never love again. I'm not going to allow anybody to come inside my heart or whatever. You literally put yourself in an isolation agreement. And then remember, when your heart is closed, love cannot go out and it cannot come in. So you may close yourself off and think that, oh, I'm not going to love anybody again. And then you don't realize that you are also, you're self-isolating. You're putting yourself in a little box where love can't reach you and your love can't reach people. So agreements can be formed. So just be careful, guys, when you're, another way, you ever see something is going on and you're angry and you're being like, you know, everyone, and then the next thing you know, that thing turns up in your life and you're like, oh my Lord, but it's you created a vow with your anger and with your emotions and with your feelings. You sink yourself into a vow. So just be careful.
Those vows are so heavy too. I've been finding vows on everybody since I started looking for them. Kind of kicking myself because I could have been clearing them this whole time. I thought that vows were associated with contracts. In fact, I was told that when I was in training at the academy. And turns out that is not accurate, because every single time I've now asked for vows, like I would say about 90% of the time there's a vow. And they're every kind of vow. Vow of poverty, that's one of the biggest ones. Vows of poverty, vows of celibacy, vows of suffering.
You know where the poverty comes from?
Suffering. Like, that was a big one. I was like, why a vow of suffering? Why would somebody choose to suffer? And a lot of times it's all religious. It's all people.
Yes.
It's a religious
self-flagellation. So Laura,
self-flagellation, but also so they can get out of a bad situation. Like, they thought, for example, if you've been to like a dark realm, like one of these like hell realms and all these horrible places that you believe you're supposed to go with the religion, they'll make you make one of those vows to get out. So they say, well, you can get out, but you're going to suffer when you incarnate. We're going to make sure of that.
And you see, that's also a way to keep people trapped on the reincarnation wheel, to keep them trapped on the reincarnation cycle. And the craziest thing is, this when the church started to bring in order to control the masses, in order to control people, they started to bring in suffering, like being poor and suffering. I even posted something about it the other day where I said, why is it that all the good things religion offer, heaven, health, wealth, it comes after you die? Why is it they want you to suffer first before, and then you die? You imagine you die, and then it's when you die you get all these things. But for some reason religion has brought it in that in order to be worthy of God, in order to be worthy of heaven, you have to suffer, you have to go through the war. Guilt, I see guilt and shame, and they use it. And guess what? It's another reason again, Laura, follow the money. It comes back to the money, the vow of poverty. If you have all the nuns and the monks take a vow of poverty, guess what? Every money, all the money comes to you.
All the money goes to the church.
Yes, so they don't have any. So and then they make them feel like, oh, you gotta be poverty. The more poverty you are, that's when God loves you. That's when God says, no, I want you to prosper and be in good health. So it's always wild to me when they teach that you should suffer, even the self-flagellation. The people who they believe that, I don't know if they still do it. It's crazy watching movies or reading history and see somebody feel like, you know what, I feel like I sin, and because I sin, God hate me. And you're gonna take a goddamn cat o' nine and be tearing the flesh off of your back yourself. So you're doing penitence and self-flagellation. Like, this is, and these things, they create vows, they're sticking to you. And then a lot of us, when you look at it, if you were someone who used to do self-flagellation, you see, in this lifetime, you literally gonna run after everything that hurts you, and you don't understand why. You get into the worst kind of relationships, you have the worst jobs, because it's trying to help you to remember that, listen, you don't need to suffer. You do not need to suffer to inherit good things. You don't need to suffer. But the church has us conditioned, like, it's like, man, they want to see you suffer. They want to see you in sackcloth and ashes. No church can tell me to go down in no damn sackcloth and ashes for a reason. I ain't doing that.
Forged in moments of deep pain, rejection, or betrayal. An unconscious vow that sounds like it's safer to stay alone.
And people don't, we do that. Like I said, even now, guys, let me tell you, remember, the Akashic records is alive and well. Everything you do, every single thing at every moment is being recorded. So something that I try to do these days is live an intentional life. Everything I do, I literally think about it before, like, how is this going to be recorded? Because once I find out about the Akashic records, I don't want to create anything in my life that 5 years on the line I got to heal from. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that the choices I make, yes, if I may make a choice where I don't realize that something happens, but I'm not going to sit here and make a choice that I know that I make this choice now, 5 years on the line, instead of me enjoying my life, I'm having to be healing. I'm having to do healing work. Nah. So be very careful with your vows, with your emotions, with your feelings. I am reading The Secret. Let me show you this book. And I'm going to tell you why I bring this up. I'm reading this book right now, The Secret by Rhonda Bryan, and it's a law of attraction book. But this book is the first I've ever seen the law of attraction put this way. You know, something that sticks with me, it says, checking your feelings tell you what's going on with you. Your emotions and your feelings at all times. Check in with your feelings hourly, minutely, daily, because your feelings manifest. It's not what we do right here. It's not the words. It's the energy, because you can be here saying that, oh, you know what? I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Rolls Royce. And then my energy is like, Law, you think you deserve a Rolls Royce? You can't even drive. What are you going to do with a Rolls Royce? When you have a Rolls Royce, what happens if it breaks down? The parts are expensive, but your mouth is saying, I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Rolls Royce. But your energy is saying you don't deserve the Rolls Royce. Guess what's going to happen? You will never get the Rolls Royce, because your feeling is feeling like you do not deserve the Rolls Royce. So again, feelings and vows, be very careful. So where were we? Isolation. So the core theme of this is withdrawal, self-protection, and the sacred undoing of loneliness. So card meaning. This card reveals a soul contract forged in moments of deep pain, rejection, or betrayal, an unconscious vow. You see what I said? Unconscious. You got to be careful. Vow that sounds like it's safer if I stay alone. The isolation agreement often forms when connection becomes a source of harm rather than healing. In past lives or early experiences, you may have been exiled, punished for your truth, or emotionally abandoned. To survive, you chose solitude, and over time, solitude became a shield. This wound can show up as chronic loneliness, self-sabotage in relationships, fear of vulnerability, or feeling like no one truly understands you. Even when people are available, you may feel disconnected, like watching life from the outside. But this isn't because something is wrong with you. It is because a part of you is still operating under an old contract that says loneliness equals safety. You know, people say, if I stay by myself, nobody can hurt me. No, but you're hurting yourself. Nobody can hurt you but yourself. You're hurting yourself. This card comes when your soul is ready to rewrite that script. Yes, your loneliness once protected you, but now it may be keeping you from the very connections your heart desires. You're not meant to walk this path completely alone. You're here to experience soul companionship, authentic community, and sacred reciprocity. Undoing this agreement doesn't mean rushing into every relationship. It means slowly, consciously allowing safe connection to take root. It means letting yourself be known, even if it's awkward. It means trusting that the right people will meet you where you are. Sacred message. You do not have to do this alone. That belief is a relic, not a requirement. What once kept you safe may now be keeping you stuck. You are worthy of being seen, being held, and supported. Let the walls soften. Let love in. You're not too much, and you are never truly alone. So that's for my number one people. And so here are 2 journal prompts too. When did I first begin to believe that it was safer to be alone? And how has that belief shaped my life? What small step can I take to open deeper to deeper connection, community, or support? So I'm gonna just interject one thing here real quickly too with this agreement. And when it says it's unconscious, so something too for parents. Parents, when you have a baby, when you have kids, you know that you can activate this contract in them by not paying them attention. So you know how they have some child, whatever you call them, doctors who try to say, let your child cry, let them this, you're not supposed to do that.
Cry it out.
Because
No,
when you
that'll
cry it
cause
out. When you do that, you're telling the child that, guess what? You don't care about them. And even as young as a baby, 2-3 months, that's when a lot of these agreements get formed because of our parents handled us. And so it's like, we now realize that it's safer if I don't cry. If I don't cry, if I cry, nothing happens. I just got to sit here and cry. So that child now starts to not cry. And then a lot of these kids, they grow up and people say, oh, they seem like, you know, they're wiser than their years and they're emotionally mature. No, they're emotionally stunted because the parents stunted them from when they were a kid. So they learn to basically keep a lid on their emotions from they were in the crib. Wow. And then they grow up. So people, we gotta be careful, especially, you know, for those of us. I'm past it. My uterus
it's funny
has
how people say these things without even realizing it too. The unconscious part is pretty big. Like I have said before, I've caught myself saying I'm happier if I'm alone. And it's true though, because I have actually, I'm not lonely even a little bit. I'm actually quite content living my own life. And
alone, Laura, alone and loneliness are 2 different things.
Okay, I was
you can be alone. You can be alone and not be lonely. So you can be alone.
Yep.
Yeah, I like my own company too. But at the same time, you know, there's a difference between the 2 of them.
No, I get it.
All right, so number 2.
Number 2s. All right, who had number 2? Let's give it a spin, Loy.
So number 2, this is you.
I'm going to do, for those of you who had number 2 in your head.
The Wounded Healer. So here we are for number 2.
I know that's coming up right now.
Brace up yourselves, number 2 people. This is for you. You've been through it, and that's what makes you powerful. This card speaks to a soul contract where your own pain became your initiation. You may have endured illness, trauma, abandonment, or betrayal, and you now carry the gift of deep empathy. But healing others is not a substitute for healing yourself. You're not meant to live in the wound. You're meant to rise from it. You are proof that healing is possible. So let's go read the Wounded Healer. The Wounded Healer. So the Wounded yeah, Chiron is the Wounded Healer, and So for me too, and I say this to you guys, with Mercury retrograde and things like this, you have to check like things like where your Chiron, and so is my Chiron is in Gemini, so that is one of the reasons. So my Chiron is in Gemini, my midheaven is in Leo. This Leo season has been, when I say it's been rough, it's been rough on me.
Like being in a washing machine.
Larry, I heard you when I was in the kitchen, but I didn't realize my earpods weren't letting you hear me. I was telling you, I'm in the washing machine, I'm in the dryer. And you know that when you go to Walmart, that thing you buy to clean the carpet. And I'm at the car wash too, Lara. I'm at the car wash at the same time. To all of them going on at the same time. So the wounded healer, one who transforms your own pain into medicine for the world. The core theme: sacred scars, transmutation, and embodied healing wisdom. So this card reveals one of the most ancient and powerful soul contracts, the path of the wounded healer. You didn't just study healing, you lived it. You walked, a lot of you walked through baptisms of fire to get where you are today. And life was not punishing you. Life was initiating you. That same fire that you walked through is why you are who you are today. You couldn't be who you are unless you went through your baptisms of fire. That's why I say healers aren't born. Healers are made. Healers are created. You cannot heal until you have gone through the fires yourself.
Yes.
So where are we now? You came to this life not to avoid pain, but to walk through it, transform it, and emerge with the medicine encoded in your bones. Your heartbreak has become your compass. Your shadows became your teachers. You're a living testament that healing is not perfection. It is presence, it is power, and it is truth. Often those with this contract have experienced profound wounding in early life. Guys, I'm the epitome of that. I'm going to tell you, and I tell you all the time, by the time I was 3 months old, I had no parents. The craziest thing is hearing from my grandparents that my mother said when she came back with me, that she told my dad that he's from another place in Jamaica. If he ever came and find me, she left when I was a month old. She would make sure that he returns in a casket. And then 2 months after, my mother found a man and decided that that man meant more to her than me. And so at 3 months old, my mother left me. Right now, you know what crazy? Right now, my mother is no contact. I had to threaten my mother with a lawyer. And I met her when I was 17, and all this lady try to do is take from me. She thinks that because I'm in America, I owe her everything. And there was a point in my life where I was so bitter up until a few years ago, and Dolores Cannon deflated my balloon. I was listening to a hypnosis session, and when the person was asking about why did their parents abandon them, and when they went through it and they said all your parents needed to do was give you life so that you could go through whatever you need to go through to be who you are. And I'm like, God damn it. So if my parents didn't abandon me, Loy would be sitting in front of you today, right here, right now. If my mother didn't decide that a man's means more than a child, if she didn't decide that, if she didn't like sex more than me,
and
I say this, and I laugh a lot. People say that I'm always happy. I always laugh a lot. It's because of what I've been through. I've seen so much darkness in the world that I don't want anybody to go through. So that's why I'm always happy. And being happy, it helps me. That's one of the ways I deal with my trauma. Because here I just said, my mother loves sex more than me. It's sad, but it's the truth. It is the truth. So if you've gone through your whatever you're going through or you've been through, don't feel like life is punishing. No, you're being initiated. So often those with this contract have experienced profound wounding early in life, emotional, physical, spiritual, or ancestral. You may have felt abandoned, misunderstood, or burdened by pain that was not yours to carry. And yet, through it all, you rose. And in rising, you became someone who could hold space for others to rise too. The path isn't easy. It can feel lonely, heavy, or unfair. But every scar you've carried has been a portal to deeper empathy, intuitive knowing, and soul resilience. The wounded healer doesn't offer help from a pedestal. They offer it from lived experience. That's why your presence is powerful. People feel safe with you because you've been there. You're being reminded that your pain was not in vain. You came to this world with a blueprint to alchemize darkness into light, not just for others, but for yourself. And while your wounds may have shaped shaped you, they do not define you. You are more than what hurt you. You are what healed through you. Sacred message. Your healing journey is your offering. Your scars are sacred. They are proof that you don't just survive, you transform. Let go of the shame. Let go of the need to be fully healed. And you're never fully healed because life heals in spirals. You may think you heal something, and then 2 weeks later it comes back and it's smacking you like, oh my God, I thought I healed that. No, life is trying to see. This is how healing happens. The thing comes back again to see if you're going to apply the tools and the methods that you use to learn to deal with it. So when the thing comes back, it's not coming back to spite you. It is not coming back to make you spiral. It's coming back for you to apply the knowledge that you use so that you can work through whatever is coming up. So let go of the shame, let go of the need to be fully healed before you lead. You are the healer, not in spite of your wounds, but because of them. Questions now, journal prompts. What past wound or experience has shaped the way I now offer wisdom, compassion, or healing to others? How can I honor my healing journey? Not as something to hide, but as a powerful part of my sacred path. And I must say, the thing that's coming up in my head, a lot of you need to come out of the persecution cave. A lot of you, you have messages within you, and I'm going to give you the analogy that I like to use. A lot of you are lighthouses. You are lighthouses, and your ships are out there in the dark and in the waters, floundering and getting smashed on the rocks because you feel like you feel like, you know what, you don't want to put yourself out here. You don't want to do this. And I'm going to tell you again, I understand. You see, when I just started this 2020, I remember joining a group, and when I joined, there was a big group with, like, at the time about 70,000 people in it. And the main requirement of the group was to do a live reading. Live, Loy, are you crazy? For one, I used to hate my accent. I never wanted to speak for people to hear me because I thought I was ashamed of my Jamaican accent. I was very much ashamed of it. And I remember when the lady told me that, and at the time I had an iPhone 8 Plus. And you see, when it was like it was coming up to the Monday when I was supposed to start, oh my Lord. Panic. And the Sunday morning I was in the bathroom doing something and my phone fell out of my hand. And tell me why the front camera and the back camera broke all at once. And I was so happy to message a lady and say, guess what? I'm gonna have to leave the group because I can't go live. My camera broke. But anyways, 6 months later, I started going live. And look at me now. I don't care. I go live. I come out here and I spread my message. And a lot of times too, you think I don't think about, like, sometimes when I'm out here, something that used to bother me is seeing people with all these credentials and everything. And from me, like I tell people, I've never been trained. I literally went to a Barnes and Noble. I saw a deck. And when I saw the deck, I was like, man, I need this. I don't know what it is, but I need it. And that's where my journey started. I have never took a training for anything at all that I do. I sit here and it just comes. Where does it come from? I have no idea. I have no clue. And I realized that to whom much is given, I'm given this gift for a reason. It is for a reason. And it doesn't need qualifications. It doesn't need certifications. And so I come out here.
I think you were critical of your accent and how much we love it.
Exactly. Laura, I used to hate my accent. I used to think that because the feeling I had is Jamaica is such a third world country. It's a this, it's a that. And I used to hate my accent. And no, you want the beautiful things is going places. Going places, Laura. And as soon as I talk, all right, so I went to a nail shop the other day. And as soon as I went in and I said, hi, hello, like, everybody is coming up. Oh my God, where are you from? And it was like, before that would have freaked me out. But now I realize that no, people like my accent. So there was a time I wouldn't do this.
It's your vibes too, Loy. It's not just your accent, it's your vibes too.
So come out of the persecution cave. You have listen, your ships are floundering, your people are sinking, people are being drowned, and you have the light. Please just turn your lighthouse on. Please, I'm begging you, come out of the persecution cave. Everything that you went through, your lifeline, your timeline is somebody's lifeline. Somebody needs your medicine. So, number 3 people now. Laura, how far or long are we? Because I'm not even looking at the clock.
You're okay. I don't have to do anything except beastie chase in 45 minutes. You're good.
I love when you say that, beastie chasing. And so, number 3, are you ready for number 3?
I was born ready. This was the number I would have picked, though funnily enough, they've all resonated so far.
So remember, you are here to remember and to help others do the same. Laura, that's you.
There you go. I was going to say, this is the number I picked.
So
It all resonates. They're all meant for me, too.
This card awakens a soul contract of remembrance, bringing back wisdom, timelines, and truths that were buried, erased, or distorted. You may be unlocking past life gifts, rewriting history, or receiving downloads that defy logic. You're not making it up. You're tuning in. Your presence is a catalyst. You help the world remember who it really is. So let's go find the rememberer down here. So this is a soul who carries ancient knowledge and awakens others to remembrance. The core theme is inner knowing, timeline activation, and the call to awaken forgotten truths. To carry the soul contract of the rememberer is to live with the quiet awareness that you've been here before. Your soul holds memories from lifetimes, dimensions, and star systems your conscious mind may not fully grasp, but your body, heart, and energy field do. You've likely always felt older than your years, like you're remembering something others have forgotten. And that's because you are. The rememberer is not just a seeker. You're a key, a living library of codes, symbols, and vibrational frequencies that activate awakening in others simply through your presence. You may speak in metaphors, dream in symbols, or know things without knowing how you know them. You are here to trigger remembrance in those around you, to gently or powerfully nudge them into reconnecting with their own divinity. But this path can feel lonely because you remember what others have not yet awakened to. You may carry grief for a world that doesn't yet see, or frustration at the density of this plane. Laura, you keep saying you may doubt yourself, especially when others try to rationalize what you know to be true. But this card is your confirmation. You are not crazy. You are encoded, and your remembering is real. Now you're being called to trust the downloads, speak the symbols, follow the breadcrumbs. You're not here to gather more knowledge. You're here to unlock what's already inside. The sacred message. You didn't come here to learn. You came to remember. The timelines are merging. The ancient is becoming now. Let the visions rise. Let the knowing unfold. You are the record keeper, the code barrier, the living memory of what the soul never forgot. Trust it, share it, be it. So your journal prompts: what soul truths, symbols, or memories have always felt familiar or resonant without logical explanation? How can I honor my role as the rememberer by sharing, embodying, or expressing what I know to be true? So that's the rememberer. So guys, just go ahead, Laura. Sorry.
That was really beautiful, Loy.
Thank you. So guys, just remember to
a lot of our followers definitely resonated with that one. I can see. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. And that, guys, that's my favorite word. Cledons, cledons, cledons. So cledons means innocent. You know, cledons means innocent oracle. So innocent oracle is like, you see how we're doing this here and we say like number 3, but even if you didn't choose number 3 and it resonated with you, it meant that it was a message for you. And this is something the ancient Greeks and Romans used to do, where they would get up in the morning and they would, like, you know, whatever they want to pray about or meditate or need an answer for, then they would go out into the world. And if, say, they go into the marketplace and they hear somebody talking, and what they're talking about, it resonates with what they're saying, they realize, oh, this is a message from the gods. If they go out and the wind was blowing east, and when they go out it's blowing west, to them it's a message from the God. If they go out and they see a squirrel run across their path, in some ways it's a message from the gods. Cledons, innocent oracles. So be the what? Be the do the man. What does that mean, Daniel? Be the And guys, this deck, if you're enjoying this, I have a 7-day free trial on it. So it's for $55 if you want to pay for it outright, but you can try it out free of cost for 7 days. So you can see what it's like. You can test, and you get the full for the 7 days. You get the full. I give you everything. I don't hold anything back. And it's available for $55 if you want to go and buy it. And this is just one. This is just one of the decks. There are 4 decks on there like this. So number 4, my people for number 4. Number 4, your heart's fluttering. Let's see. And this is all me. I'll tell you guys, all of this is my work. It's all of my Akashic work that I've been doing. I sat down and I created all of this from my 4 or 5 years of work that I've been doing. So ancient Egypt, your soul, you carry soul memories connected to ancient Egypt. This card brings a message of wisdom, healing, or karmic completion linked to lifetimes in temples, mystery schools, or sacred service. You may feel drawn to symbols, rituals. You may feel drawn to symbols, rituals, or spiritual truths that echo this connection. This is a sign that a past life gift or contract is awakening within you, perhaps to be honored, healed, or brought to light. Trust that your soul knows how to work with this frequency. Let it guide you into greater embodiment and spiritual sovereignty. So, hold on. Let's go find ancient Egypt now. Collapse. And just to let you know, guys, this deck too, my entire plan, my goal, Hay House, this is where I'm taking this. Like, when I finish develop, I'm still working on it, but my entire thing is to bring this to Hay House because this can be such a tool for awakening in the spiritual community. And with what I plan to add to it with like the meditations, like I'm developing to do an entire Akashic thingy that you can go and you can, yeah, that's my goal.
Love that.
I tell people that I want to be the Archimedes of spirituality. That's why. So
Archimedes of spirituality.
Yup. Or the Oprah of spirituality. I don't like Oprah though. That's why I use Archimedes. Yeah. So, ancient Egypt, timeline of sacred power, divine knowledge, and soul initiation. Core themes, priesthood memory, soul lineage, solar codes of mastery. This card arrives as a powerful key to a soul contract rooted in the ancient Egyptian timeline. If you felt drawn to pyramids, the Eye of Horus, hieroglyphs, or the Nile, if you dream of golden temples or feel a deep, inexplicable reverence for the sun, Ra, you may be remembering a lifetime of spiritual service and soul mastery in Kemet, the original name for Egypt, meaning black land. Did a lot of people know that Egypt was called Kemet? That's the name for it. Yeah, so in a lot of Egyptian things, you won't see Egypt, you see Kemet. Many who carry this contract are initiated, and I also say not just Egypt too. So even though this says ancient Egypt, Sudan and Nubia also are a part of that, because for some, between the Egyptians and the Nubians, they kept taking over each other. And also, do you know that there are more pyramids in Nubia than in Egypt? Who knew
yes,
that?
that's it. Yeah. They're really cool looking too. I love the shape of them.
Mm-hmm. So many who carry this contract were initiated into the temples of Isis, Thoth, Sekhmet, or Hathor. Man, I love Dendera. I cannot wait to go to Dendera. Like, every time I think of that, I feel. And Hatshepsut, that's the other one. There's another female emperor I want to go to her. The funerary temple of whatever her name is. I'm going to try to break my tongue. I'm learning the art of energy healing, sacred sound, alchemy, and divine justice. Others served as protectors of esoteric knowledge, esoteric wisdom. No, esoteric means hidden. So there's 2 types of wisdom in this world. There's exoteric, which is the nonsense they give us all that they want us to believe. And then there's esoteric, which is the hidden, the mystery schools and the hidden stuff. So esoteric knowledge, working with solar light, sacred geometry, or the weighing of the heart. In that timeline, your soul knew how to walk between worlds, speak to the dead, and channel divine law into the material realm. You were not just spiritual, you were cosmic. You understood the architecture of the universe. But with great power came great responsibility and sometimes loss. Many contracts from ancient Egypt include unresolved betrayal, exile, or silencing. Many were forced to abandon their teachings to protect the sacred. Others were punished for going against the priesthood or misusing their gifts. If you fear being seen, mistrust your own power, or resist leadership even when you are ready, that may be an echo of what happened in Egypt. This card is a sacred return. You're being asked to retrieve the gifts of that lifetime while releasing the fear that came with them. You don't have to hide anymore. Your soul is ready to embody what it once guarded. You're not just here to remember, but to rebuild. Sacred message. You're a keeper of light codes born under the ancient sun. The wisdom you carry is not new, it's eternal. Let your remembering be the resurrection. You have crossed lifetimes to reclaim this mastery. It is safe to be seen, it is safe to speak, it is safe to lead. The temple lives within you now. Guys, do you realize that a lot of these messages keep telling you it's safe to be seen, it's safe to be heard, it's safe to come out? Let your light shine. You do, as again, I'm gonna go Bible, even though I'm not a Bible person, but Christ said, you do not light a candle and put it under your bed. Who is it gonna illuminate under the bed? He's gonna burn your damn bed down. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna incinerate you. If you light the candle and put it under your bed, you're gonna be toast. You're gonna turn burnt toast. You see how Adam came out with that toast? You're gonna look worse than that toast. So when you light your candle, you light the candle and you go out there. Carry your candle. Shine it in the world so that the lost people can see the light and come to you. If it's under the bed, like I said, prepare to die. If you light your candle and put it under the bed, I'm gonna come to your funeral. It's gonna be slow singing and candle bringing. So light your don't light your candle, hide it under the bed. Light is meant to be seen. Light your candle and go on the mountaintop so that the people who are out there, they can be like, yes, there is a beacon, be a five of, what do you call it, a five of pentacles. Or don't be a five of pentacles. So, you know, five of pentacles where it has the 5 lights in the window, but the person is so sad and down that their head is down and they can't see the light over there. Yeah, don't be like that. So, journal prompts. What symbols, locations, or deities from ancient Egypt have always stirred something deep in my soul? In what ways am I being called to reclaim my spiritual authority from this timeline? So that's my number 4 people. Alrighty, number 5.
I know that resonated with a bunch of you. Thank you very much, Loy. And last but not least, number 5.
So, number 5, are you ready?
Remember, if any of these resonate with you, it's meant for you. The message, if it resonates, it was meant to be heard.
We're going to ancient India now. This card speaks of devotion, dharma, and soul alignment. Your dharma, for a lot of you, as when I read dharma, I heard in my mind to let you know that your dharma is unfolding exactly as it should. Everything that's going on for you, it's happening in the timeline that your soul set into place before you incarnated here. So don't worry, your dharma is unfolding online, on time, on point, exactly as it should. So you may have lived lifetimes in ancient India as a mystic, a healer, or a wisdom keeper. The codes of sacred mantra, yoga, divine service, and soul discipline live in your field. This card invites you to remember your divine purpose, not through pressure, but through peace. Trust the rhythm of your life. The answers are not outside of you. They're in the quiet, in the practice, in the path your soul already knows how to walk. So let's go for ancient India. Come on. So, essence, sacred devotion, divine embodiment, and the soul's awakening through oneness. The core themes are spiritual mastery, non-duality, karma, and the path of liberation. When this card appears, your soul is calling forth memories of sacred lifetimes in the ancient lands of India, where devotion met discipline and truth was not just studied but lived. You may have walked the temples of Varanasi, meditated by the Ganges, chanted in caves, or lived as a yogi, healer, or seer, or a mystic devoted to the path of moksha, liberation of the soul. This contract often links you to profound spiritual mastery, a lifetime where you studied energy mantra, breath, consciousness, and the laws of karma at a soul deep level. You may have served within spiritual lineage, practice Ayurveda, or the Vedic astrology, or walk the path of bhakti, devotion, jhana, wisdom, or tantra, embodied union. But alongside these gifts, many carry karmic echoes of imbalance, lifetimes of renunciation, self-sacrifice, or spiritual bypassing. You may still feel an unconscious push to transcend the body, deny your human needs, or earn your worth through Laura. This is wild for the last guy. Remember, we were just talking about this? That the spiritual suffering. Oh, wow. You see, guys, this is why I love what I do. And this is why no matter what anybody says, I 100% believe in, because there's no way that we could have been talking about whatever and going through 5 readings and the last one is back to the very same thing again. So you may still feel an unconscious push to transcend the body, earn your human needs, deny your human needs, or earn your worth through purity, service, or suffering. If you struggle with scarcity, martyrdom, or feeling that your desires are unspiritual, this card invites a deep soul recalibration. You're here to integrate, not escape. This lifetime is not about returning to the cave. I said, come out of the persecution cave. It is about remembering the cave within. You are no longer required to withdraw from the world to embody your divinity. Again, Laura, the isolation tying into this too. Wow. You are being called to walk as a living bridge between the sacred and the ordinary, to carry your wisdom with humility and your devotion with joy. Sacred message. Your soul has knelt at the feet of sages, sung to the stars, and surrendered to the divine in 1,000 forms. But now the path is different. You're not here to renounce the world. You are here to infuse it with soul. Let your devotion be alive. Let your spirituality be full-bodied. The light you carry was not meant to hide in temp. It was meant to walk in the world. Listen, see, I told you, if you put the light under your bed, you're going to be burnt up, you're going to be dead. It was not meant to be hidden. Your light was meant to shine. Shine your light, because guess what? When you turn your light on, it illuminates the path for other people. So what if there's someone who, their vision is going and they have dim vision and they can't see, but you turn your light on, you give them a glimpse of hope, and that glimpse of hope, they get to see the next step in front of them just from your light being turned on. So turn your light on. Now, I want to do one more, and this is going to be for everyone. So this is not going to be
collective. That would be lovely. Thank you.
So, collective. Should I change the deck or should I use the same deck?
It's up to you. It's entirely up to you, my love.
Hold on. I'm going to change the deck. So I'm going to use Akashic Alchemy. So this is going to be for the collective. Akashic masters, teachers, and guides, give me a message that's just for the collective at this moment.
I kind of love watching
the third eye chakra. So the third eye is your seat of intuition, perception, and inner vision. When this card appears, you're being invited to see beyond the surface, beyond logic, fear, and delusion, and to trust the subtle knowing within you. You may be receiving intuitive messages, psychic impressions, or vivid dreams, or you may be struggling to trust what you feel and see. The third eye chakra doesn't scream, it whispers, and its guidance doesn't always make sense to the mind, but it resonates deeply in the soul. Clear the fog, remove the doubt. You're clearly seeing, it is time to trust it. So let's go find the third eye chakra. Visionary sight and inner knowing. Core theme, intuitive clarity, inner vision, soul perception. The third eye chakra is your gateway to expanded perception, where insight, intuition, and subtle awareness converge. When this card appears, your soul is inviting you to see with more than your eyes. You know what I say? In the Bible, Christ says the light of the eye, and people think he's talking about this. He's saying this. If this light is dim, this don't matter. It matters, yes, but in the spiritual realm, this doesn't matter if this is blind. If this is blind, this is just decoration, basically. Where am I? When this card appears, your soul is inviting you to see with more than your eyes. You're being called to look beyond appearances, to trust what you feel, sense, and know at a soul level. You may be receiving intuitive downloads, vivid dreams, or spontaneous inner visions. Or perhaps your inner knowing is rising, but your mind is clouded with doubt. The third eye doesn't communicate with volume, it speaks in whispers, nudges, and patterns that bypass logic and land in the body as truth. This is not imagination, it's remembrance. The more you trust what you see internally, the clearer your path becomes externally. Whether you're opening to psychic abilities or reclaiming your intuitive voice, this chakra asks you to believe yourself. Clear the fog of fear, release the need for proof you already know. Your inner sight was never meant to match the outer world, it was meant to reveal it. Your intuition is not fantasy, it's a frequency. You're not imagining it, you're remembering it. Trust the visions, the whispers, and the inner signals. You're not losing your mind, you're opening your sight. The truth is already within you. See it, trust it, follow it. Now, prompts: what intuitive messages, dreams, or inner visions have I received recently? And how can I begin to act on them with trust? Where in my life am I being guided to look beneath the surface and see the deeper soul level truth? So that's for the collective.
I guess the collective is doing that right now. We are looking on beneath the surface for the deeper soul level truth.
Yes. A lot of people are
getting a lot of intuitive downloads and messages and dreams right now. So yeah, trust that inner knowing and listen to your intuition.
100%, 100%. I love being here.
We love having you here.
Every time you, like, whenever you ask, I'm always like, yes, I can't wait. Because I love doing this. Like, I genuinely love doing what I do. I love helping people to understand their life from a spiritual perspective, because a lot of people, it's like they see life as this linear thing. They see Earth, it's like they're here on Earth and they think that this one life here on Earth, this is it. But the way my guys show me, they say life is like a 1,000,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and this life here on Earth is one piece of the puzzle. And a lot of times, you may have the puzzle and you're trying to fit the puzzle together, but you don't realize that before you can understand certain things here, you got to fit the end of the puzzle over the south corner first. And when you fit that piece in, then the bigger picture starts to become, it starts to become visible. And like I say, I like to help people to understand their earthly life from a spiritual perspective, so they can realize what's happening and know how to navigate whatever is going on at this point in time. So I love doing this.
You just dropping mics all over the place today, Loy. There's a reason we call her legit Loy. Yep, Chantal.
So Laura, I created, so on top of this, guys, how many of you know I have a quiz? Laura, let me see if I can show them the quiz.
Go for it.
Hold on. Where is it? I want to shift it to the other side. Hold on. So, how do we do this now? So I'm going to stop sharing this one and then I start again. Share screen. Where is it? Share. So guys, this is a quiz that I created, and it's what soul contract archetype is guiding your life right now. This is just a little bit about me, but so let me go to the quiz. So here's the quiz. So it's 11 questions, and then based on how, so let's do it. Let's see. So Laura, tell me how to answer them. You choose, and I.
You didn't tell me you're gonna put me on the spot. All right.
So let's see what your soul contract.
D.
All right, so D for Laura. D. So we move on. Which one of these photos?
The Forest Temple.
Forest Temple. All right.
What kind of spiritual guidance am I craving most right now? Support with releasing trauma. Yep. I'm working on that right now. Which sentence best reflects your inner world? I feel what others feel and it's overwhelming. D. In stressful moments, what's your instinctual response? A. Immediately, I know. Yeah. How do you feel about your origin story? D. Like I've lived many lives and carry pieces of all of them. I like that. What's been your biggest challenge on the path lately? Trying to reclaim my power from past life wounds. Yep. What kind of healing are you most drawn to right now? It's a toss between C and D. I guess C. What phrase speaks to your current season of life? B. I'm remembering who I really am. What archetype do you secretly feel drawn to? The Star Traveler. Which symbol calls to your soul right now? Stargate portal, right, Daniel Jackson?
So I'm just gonna use my email here to make it easier. So, Laura, you're the Soul Weaver. Ooh. Welcome, Soul Weaver. You are a shapeshifter of timelines, a transmuter of energy, a being who has walked many lives and carries the memories of them all. Where others see chaos, you see the web beneath it. Where others collapse into pain, you alchemize it. You're not here to escape the shadows. You're here to rewrite the story from within. Your life is not broken. This is long though, Laura, so I would have to send you. Look, I'm gonna show you, Laura. Like I put a lot. For me, people who work with me know
Will you forward that to me? Holy cow.
Yes. Yeah, look. And there are 4 archetypes there. So
very nice.
I have I'm thorough, Laura. Anything I do, for people who work with me, they know that my work is thorough. Anything I do, be it a reading, anything at all. You see, you have even a ritual. Look, you have a soul weaving.
Look at you.
You have a ritual. You have message from the Akashic records. Yeah, it's pretty long because I give information. I make sure that it's information that people can use, that can really, and it dives into where
do people get these? I'm just wondering, is it on your website?
If you go to loyjones.com, it's yes, I have specials. I have a live reading for $111. It's normally $159, but it's for $111. It's a 1-hour Akashic Tarot reading. I also have soul contract reading. So Laura, let me show them my website, my thingy. This is if you go to loyjones.com, it will kind of give you a little overview of what I have going on. The special, this is not the special. So if you go to this one, you're gonna pay the full price. Cherise, can you share share them separate, Cherise? So when you share them all in one, no, people are not realizing, Cherise. So share them separate. So share like the divine, the Akashic readers in a box first, then the tarot session, and then the other one. So they're separate.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cherise.
And also, I don't know how much if you know, but I do have a mentorship as well, and it's $22 per month. So I have a Akashic. Some people are here. I know I have people are here that are in the mentorship, but I have an Akashic mentorship. Let me run through that really quickly. Hold on. So this is the page for my Akashic mentorship. Let me show you what you get. Let me go down to it. So these are like basic 6 pillars. Like it's all centered around 6 basic pillars. But what's included? So you get ongoing group mentorship. There are 3 live sessions per month. You get weekly Akashic Insight. There's a private WhatsApp group. You get access to the sacred portal with all the recorded classes and all of that. And you also get a bonus course. So if you're needing a little bit of confidence, I offer you that. And this is $22 per month, and you can cancel at any time. So if this is something anyone wants to get into. And like I say, for people who work with me, that my classes, every class is literally an hour and a half to 2 hours. So you get an hour and a half to 2 hours of class, like 3 times per month. And it's all about the Akashic records. I teach you basically everything you need to know about the Akashic records. So if anyone is interested, let me send this link. If I post this, how can I send this link, Laura?
Just send it to
Sherry,
Facebook. I'll drop it.
all right, yeah. But this is all on my come on. This is all on my, if you go to my name, loyjones.com, if you go Loy Jones, if you just put loyjones.com, it will pull up this page and then you can see. But the special for the reading, it's not on here. It's on here. So you have to use that link that Sharice just put. So that's what I
Thank
have
you,
going
Sharice,
on,
for
guys.
dropping those. And thank you, Louis, for the discount. That's very kind of you, Loy.
Yes, I when I come on here, I always create a discount for you. Whenever you tell me or you ask me to get on here, I go create something. I go
So if you
create
guys
a
are looking for
discount.
some more insight, especially into contracts and things that you're going through in life right now, this is a great way
And
of delving into that.
let me show you the soul contract reading too, since we have the page open. So basically, the soul contract reading, it's let me go through it and show you. So it breaks down, I break down 9 core contracts in your life. So like your core contract, this is the central lesson your soul chose to master, the frequency, the lineage role, like what role is your lineage, whatever karmic loop you have, any hidden vows you have, your liberation key, how to break free, your active agreements, and whatever sacred boundaries and your next step. I'll tell you something. This reading, it takes 10 to 15 days to get it back because each one of these is like over 100-page document. Like when I do these, it's like 100-page Google Doc. It's a lot. And it's $111 for that. And also, if the Akashic readings in a box, if you get the reading, this reading, you get $10 or $11 off it. So you can add it to your thingy and you get a discount.
All right.
So
well, thank you very much, Loy. Very appreciative.
You are welcome. Laura, do we have time for me to do some sound healing for, because
we have to run, honey. I've got to chase
Alrighty.
business in a few minutes and I got to take care of my little man. But thank you very much for everything for today, especially for doing those readings for everybody.
You are welcome. I love being here. You see, every time I get on here, I'm like, oh.
Thank you for raising the vibes today, Loy.
You are welcome. And if you have any question or you want to inquire about my services, and I do one-to-one, I forgot to say, I do one-to-one mentorship as well. So if you want one-to-one mentorship, that's where you work with me one-to-one. You get me. You get all of me. All of me. All of my tools, you get everything that I have. You get all of that. So thank you all. I love you. And Laura, I love you.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Lots of love, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.